Thank you all very much for the invitation to Marcos and his planning team, for the opportunity to be here to share some of the things that I follow within the United States as it pertains to agricultural cooperatives. But also I have the good fortune to serve on the board of directors for IFAMA. It has been a wonderful organization that has added a great deal to me. So thank you to all of you who are here at the forum, and we hope to see you again next year. So as I was preparing this talk to think about how the U.S. co-op industry has evolved, it really has evolved in a way to make sure that it creates a competitive advantages for U.S. farmers and agricultural producers. So I'm going to share a little bit of that as we go through here today. I am the director of the Arthur Capper Cooperative Center. It is a center of excellence that focuses on cooperative research, delivering education programs, and it is something that I'm very proud of because this center was formed in 1984. A little bit of U.S. history. The 1980s in U.S. agriculture was very difficult. It is known as the farm debt crisis. There were many bankruptcies of farms, of banks, of agribusinesses, and cooperatives. Kansas co-op leaders turned to Kansas State University and said, we need a center that can help us navigate these turbulent times and to better prepare ourselves for success in the future. So we set out with our purpose to determine, develop, and deliver research and education for the cooperative community. We do that for Kansas co-ops, for U.S. co-ops, and even now through the connections within IFAMA international co-ops as well. I encourage you all, go to our website. We have plenty of information, research, other programs that you can take a look at. Over time, there has been a significant amount of consolidation and business volume growth for U.S. ag co-ops. Back in 1929, the height of agricultural cooperatives in the United States, we had 12,000. But as you can clearly see on that downward trend, today we sit at 1,650. Yet while we have had that consolidation and the reduction in the number of co-ops, we are handling more business volume growth than ever before. As you can see, that gray line has really risen quite a bit. And as an economist, when I see fewer businesses, more business volume, first thing I think of, scale economies have to be playing here. Many reasons why cooperatives were originally formed is to provide competitive advantages to those who own those businesses. This is certainly true through investments of infrastructure, geographic expansion, investments in technology as well as people. But also, it's not just scale or growth for growth's sake. It's also becoming more efficient. This efficient growth, these efficiencies have really benefited those farmer owners of these cooperatives. But why the consolidation? What is it that really drove that line down? Now, I am a professor of cooperatives, and one of the things I like to think about are business models. And the cooperative business model, I feel, holds the key to why we have seen this reduction of ag co-ops. Remember that co-ops are user owner, user benefit, user control, where in this case, the user is the farmer. So what has happened to U.S. farmers? If we look at USDA data looking at the number of farms within the United States, we have seen a significant reduction in the number of farms to where we have about little under 2 million farmers in the U.S. today. But as these farms have reduced in size or number, we've seen the total size, the number of acres for farmers has gone up. These farmers have become more efficient. Their needs have changed. So because of these needs changing, cooperatives have had to focus on their farmer owners. What is it that they need today in order to be successful in a global marketplace? One of the ways that co-ops look at these needs and how they can help competitive advantage to co-op or to farmers of different sizes is through the use of technology. USDA shows precision agriculture, the use and how it has been adopted on farms, and many farms, as you can see, for various sizes from small, mid-size, large scale, utilize yield monitors, yield maps, soil maps, as well as guidance auto steering. But where we don't see as much adoption, this is the space for the cooperative to come in and provide value to their farmer owners. From the use of variable rate technologies, drones, many cooperatives are purchasing those technologies so that they can provide that service to their farmer owners. As you can see here in the upper right-hand corner, we have co-ops who are utilizing See and Spray technology from spray applications. We also have cooperatives who are beginning to think about, should we be invested and engaged in autonomous tractors? Also, more importantly, for many co-ops, autonomous trucking. Truck drivers are very scarce, they're hard to find, and if co-ops can find a way to utilize autonomous trucking, they will do that. So we also have that as well. But here on the bottom right, I have a video that I'd like to show for you all. There is a cooperative in Kansas, MKC, that is working closely with Greenfield Robotics. Greenfield, I had them come and speak on one of my programs, and the founder is very passionate about finding ways to reduce the impact or connections of chemicals on the land as well as to those employees who are out and spraying them. For him, it's very personal. His father died from overexposure to chemicals. So it is his mission with Greenfield Robotics, how can we develop robots that can be in a swarm and actually do robotics at scale in a place like Kansas. So I'll show you this video here, if it'll play. Oh. Looks like we're not going to have that. But you can see the little robots that are out there that they go through the fields. They will weed, they will fertilize, provide crop nutrients, and even plant cover crops as they go throughout the field. So this is just one way that a cooperative is finding ways to engage in trying to bring technology to their farmer owners. As co-op, the center director, I also have the good fortune of working with different types of co-ops all throughout the U.S. as well as the globe. And here I have 4 U.S.-based co-ops that are different in structure, have a different story, something to add to this competitive advantage discussion. CHS is a federated cooperative. It is actually owned by farmers as well as ag co-ops. I think many of us in this room know CHS. They are a multinational across the globe, grain, agronomy, energy cooperative. In fact, if we look at their sales, they're up over, or revenue, over $39 billion in revenue. They're a Fortune 100 company, very, very large. And in fact, actually, they have just recently made some investments here in Brazil. They have a headquarters in Sao Paulo, working with the railway Rumo in order to put a terminal in the port of Santos. They are doing this in a way to help with global agriculture, but also, too, to provide a benefit back to their farmer owners within the U.S. as well as across the globe. Keystone Cooperative is a cooperative based in Indiana. It is a local cooperative. It is a cooperative that is owned by farmers. There was a recent merger of 2 very large co-ops to come together to bring Keystone. They are over $3 billion in revenue, so a significant size. And of course, that comes with efficiencies and scale economies and things that come with a merger. But the thing that's unique, I find, about Keystone and what brought them together is a way to access talent in a different way than what they have been able to do before. Co-ops are generally flat organizations. There's not a lot of opportunity for advancement. There's not a lot of opportunity to move up. And maybe the complexity doesn't seem to be as appealing to someone who is coming out and is an aspiring employee. But with Keystone, they have added that complexity. They have added those opportunities for promotion. They have created a balance sheet that would allow them to go out, acquire, retain, and attract some top talent. So that is a key for Keystone. Now, it's not all about scale and size. CHS and Keystone are very, very large co-ops. I like my example of Alliance Ag and Grain, LLC. One, it's from Kansas. It's a co-op that I've worked with very closely, but it's unique. Alliance Ag and Grain is an LLC that is wholly owned by 6 other co-ops. 3 founding co-ops came together and they had a problem. The problem that they had was they were not able to attract or retain the CEO, their senior leadership team. We needed to find a way in which to have a CEO to lead these complex organizations to the benefit of our farmer owners. So they formed a management LLC, if you will, a place in which to have that management that was housed within Alliance Ag and Grain, and they have since added 3 other cooperatives for a total of 6 that benefit from access to a CEO who understands modern agriculture and who can help benefit those farmers in Southwest Kansas. Final example is CoBank. CoBank is a financial cooperative. It is a financial cooperative that is part of the Farm Credit System. And of course, the Farm Credit System is a system that is a financial cooperative that has a government-sponsored enterprise. The bonds that they sell to acquire loanable funds is used in order to put back into U.S. agriculture. CoBank, as part of that system, is the primary lender to farmer cooperatives. And for farmer co-ops, this is a significant, in the U.S., a competitive advantage for not only them, but also for farmers to have access to affordable debt capital, to also benefit from patronage. Last year, CoBank paid out over $1 billion in patronage to their co-op owners. That short-term debt, the long-term debt, is really tremendous to have with CoBank. So just 4 examples, there's many others that are within the U.S. and how they provide value back to their farmer owners. Finally, there's always challenges. There are things out there that we know that are coming at us. Many of you all share these very similar challenges. I don't think these are unique to the United States. First, we've talked a lot about farmer of the future. But from a cooperative perspective, these are our owners. These are the people, our customers. So how are we going to be not only relevant to them in the future, but we need to make sure we're their chosen partner. This is discussed a lot within boardrooms, management organizations. Next is talent management. Many worry about, can we retain the talent or recruit the talent that we need in order to run these complex organizations? In fact, many cooperatives spend time to take this talent management and integrate it into their overall corporate strategy. How do we make sure that we are always keeping in mind when we set our strategic goals, how does that impact our talent management? Navigating a change in complexity that's out there. Change management strategies are very well known and very used within the cooperative system. There's financial stress. I know from Kansas, we have had just coming off of 3 years of drought. It's been very dry. That is, weather is the primary outside force. And I think the takeaway that I always have with co-ops is the basics of business. You need to build a balance sheet. You need to have a strong liquidity position. You need to understand your cash flow. Those things are critical for success in getting through those financial stress times. Next is competition among cooperatives. Now, some of you all who might know a little bit about co-ops might think that's a little counterintuitive. There are 7 principles of cooperatives, and one of them is cooperatives cooperating together. And I'm just put a name on it. This doesn't always happen. And in fact, sometimes the biggest competitor to a co-op is another co-op. I think the cooperative model has a lot of promise, has a lot of ability to provide competitive advantages. But if we can only compete with ourselves and we need to find ways in which to work together. That's when we can truly harness the power of the co-op model. And then finally, a bit on governance. As these co-ops, gain in size and complexity, we have to remember we need to make sure the farmer directors, those who are the owners that serve on the board, are well trained, that they understand how do we navigate, how do we lead through this significant change. So for the directors, we have to make sure we're attracting them. Many ways in which farmer directors are attracted with co-ops I work with is, if you serve on the board of directors, you will be a better farmer. You will be exposed to different thoughts, different ideas, different strategies, ways in which to benefit you on the farm. So there's many more that I could go through, but I don't want to get yelled at. So
Both time.
because I know we'll get yelled at. So thank you all very much for your time.